I think marketing, like the way you do it, is so much more people oriented. It's about your work helping someone make more sales is really about the person that you're working with. Hey, welcome to a podcast where dreams meet determination and success is just around the corner. I'm your host, Suzanne Taylor-King, and I'm here to help you unlock the full potential of your business and your life. Welcome to Unlock Your Way with STK. Let's unlock your path to success together. Good morning, everyone. Suzanne Taylor-King here for another Friday live of Unlock Your Way with STK. And I am super excited today to bring an old friend who we've actually never done this live before. First time, Moin Katariya.
Yes, Katariya. Thank you so much, Suzanne.
Katariya. Okay, I got it. Moin Katariya. He is a marketing extraordinary performer. You show up so powerfully on social media. And I want to just tell a little story about how I met you that you probably don't know. That I was a fan of yours on Facebook well over 4 years ago. I noticed what you were doing and how you show up on social media. So super excited for our conversation today.
Absolutely. I'm also really excited, Suzanne. Thank you so much for giving me this amazing welcome here inside your show. So as you said, it's my first time. Okay. And I'm also really excited as well to share with your audience that what we are up to today.
Yeah. Well, I know you've moved recently and lots of changes and growth in your business. How did you get started, not only in marketing, but copywriting?
Hmm. So yeah, actually, my journey is get started in 2019. Before the Corona crisis really started, and then at the time, I was in the last year of my college, and I was studying outside of my home. Okay, outside of my city where I was growing up. So I was pursuing the software engineering degree at the
Oh,
time
wow.
because everybody's told me that you should get into the software engineering, like specifically computer engineering, so that you can get a better job in really good company. Okay. And I was in the last year of my college, and I already finished it like 2 semesters, like 2 years in my college. And I was thinking that it's been like 2 years since I've been pursuing this degree, and still somehow I'm not getting any sort of interest inside this algorithm and building the softwares and all this sort of stuff. Okay, so I was kind of exploring that maybe somehow I can change my profession, somehow I can do something which make me really more excited, because it was last year of my college. After graduating, I had to find a job. Okay, I had to do something to actually make money. Okay, so I was just exploring the online world, and somehow I came across one of the online marketing model, which is at the time it was like drop shipping. Okay, so which make me really exciting that maybe somehow I can start doing it. So I borrowed like $200 or $300 from one of my uncle, and I told him that I want to start this online business, this drop shipping stuff. Okay, and I'm really excited, and he given me this $300 to do this like this. Okay, so I created my first website in 2019, and at the time I invested all this money in the ads and all this stuff. And I still remember I got my first sale for like 56 dollars. Okay, by selling the watches in the drop shipping. Okay, and that's when I realized that maybe I can actually do this more of this. Okay. And that's when in 2019, I started exploring drop shipping. And from there, okay, I started learning more about online marketing, like social media, copywriting, and all sorts of the skills. And in 2020, I started actually landing some clients about my social media management service and some copywriting. And that's where, till today, okay, I'm still into this stuff. Okay. In 2023, I made the big changes to move to the Dubai because I had a really big dream. And when
Yeah.
I was living in India, I was feeling like that, our surroundings really matters. Okay, when it's come to growing as a person or growing as a business, okay, you need to actually surround yourself with the right surroundings. That's why I made the decision that I can move forward to with a Dubai, where I can hang out with other entrepreneurs, grow myself as a like more into my business and my personal self. Okay, so that's where I'm at with this journey.
It's amazing, and what I love about it is, well, Moeen, you're such a baby. You're really young. You're really young, which is super cool. I can't imagine what's possible when you start at such a young age in this space. Most of my clients are over 50, and so technology and learning new things, I love it. But so many people that are, you know, I'll even say over 40 struggle with the learning new things and the technology and the apps and the algorithms and all the things that are required to learn. So I just want to give you props for learning all of those things as you go. But you started doing something before you knew how, which is really key, and, I think there's a great lesson in that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm agree with you because I mean, because at the time when I started out, okay, there were so many things already going on. Because when you are young, okay, at the time when I started out, okay, I like my age was something between like 19 or 20-year old, and during that age period, okay, you have like different level of curiosity, okay, to become something, to prove yourself to your family and the society that you are living in. And I was so hungry because I mean growing up, okay, I have faced so much challenges, like I mean, because my family was I born and grew up in the middle class family in India, and we were living in the like joint family with like 15 other members in just one roof. Okay, so when you grow up in such a background, okay, you get like different level of like curiosity that you want to prove yourself to your family members, to become better, okay, to do something which really make them feel proud. Okay, and that time, okay, when I started out, I had that hunger that I can, maybe somehow I can change the situation. I can change the conditioning that we had, like the way that we used to live. Okay, so with that thing in my mind, okay, I can't say that I mean, whatever the things that I've achieved over the last 5 years comes to me really easily, but I can say that because of that hunger, okay, it make me to achieve that thing that I'm today achieved it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I wanna add that, sometimes hunger and wanting to be a success, wanting to make money doing what you're good at can lead people to be, um, a little spammy, a little aggressive with sales, a little, you know, cold marketing, you know? And I notice with you from our very first interaction, it was very value driven. You communicated so well what you do without pitching me or spamming me, or you didn't come into my world and immediately try to sell me something. It was about you being of value, not only through your content, but just the way you are and you operate in the online space. It just aligned with my values about how to show up, how to be of value to other people. And I remember a couple of years ago, you actually you wrote me a sales email and just let me let me write an email for you, and you sent it over to me. And I will never forget that because it's so rare that somebody actually shows up and puts their money where their mouth is. Like, "Hey, I'm really good at this. Let me show you how good I am." And I said, "If this email makes any sales, I'm sending you money."
Yes, I still remember that.
And it was good, like, and so it's a way to show up and be of value to other people without asking them or being pushy and, trying to make sales. but yet you're still making sales. So where did that come from in you to show up like that? Where did you learn that from?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So see, I mean, since it's been almost like 5 years since I've been into this space, like specifically online marketing. Okay, and over the last 5 years, okay, I have learned so many things from the different peoples. Okay, for example, like one of my first kind of mentor, well, you also really know him well, which is Russell Brunson. Okay, he's a really amazing guy, and I'm really big fan of it. I mean, all of his books that I have read in the early journey, like .com Secrets, Expert Secret. And when I was started out, okay, in the like first 1 and 2 years, around that time, okay, I was also get learned like doing some cold DMs, etc., reaching out to the people. And at the time, okay, in 2020, when I was doing outreaching to the people, okay, I used to get some bad responses in return. Okay, so I can't say that, I mean, from the beginning, I'm just leading with the value, but I have also tried it as well to reaching out to people, doing some call DMs, call emails, etc. And when I used to get like some bad response from the people, I realized that, I mean, there must be something better way where I don't have to try to convince people that, I can really help them. Okay. And since I was getting some bad responses from people, okay, I started exploring that somehow I can do something, okay, which really makes people to see that, I mean, I can really help them without trying to sell them something or without trying to convince them something. And in one of the like Russell Brunson's podcast, okay, I was sharing in 2021, and I can't still remember like which episode it was, but he said that, I mean, when you lead with the value, okay, when you lead with buying by being yourself, okay, with your own authenticity, and you lead your own expertise to do this work, okay, people will comes to you. Okay, you don't have to try to hard sell them, you don't have to try to convince them, but your expertise, your authenticity will going to attract the right people. Okay, and from that moment, okay, in 2021 till now, okay, I'm leading with that same principle that, I mean, when you are expert in what you really do. Okay, you don't have to really try to sell something, you don't have to convince people, but your expertise, your message, okay, the way that you are going to communicate it will going to do that work for you. Okay, so that's kind of the philosophy that I'm currently going on with, and this is the same principle and philosophy I'm also sharing with other like coaches and entrepreneurs that I'm right now working with. That, I mean, you can lead with authenticity because there is so many things that people can do at this moment. Okay, I mean, there's so many things people are doing, like manipulation, they are doing some hard selling, they are doing something which is kind of making some people feel annoyed. Okay, but when you're leading with authenticity and something which can really make them feel that, you are a bit of different, okay, that's when people will start to follow you there. That's when you start to get actually like inbound lead or something like that.
Yeah. And it's not an overnight thing. Andrea, who's joining us on LinkedIn. Hey, Andrea. She says
Hi,
it's
Andrea.
inspiring, right? And um, I think there's inspiring, there's motivating, there's, a better way to do marketing than cold emails and spammy messages. You know, there's lots of automation now. We talked a little bit before I went live about how Facebook has been super glitchy and weird, and I really think, and lots of fake profiles, lots of fake people trying to sell you something. My new favorite is, and I've gotten 4 of these messages from random people trying to get me as a guest in someone else's mastermind. And I don't understand this whole pitch, but it's basically a cold message from a reasonably attractive woman. Not sure if it's a fake profile or not, but I've received 4 of the exact same messages, so I'm assuming fake profiles. But I get this message, about my incredible accomplishments, and we'd love to have you as a guest in this mastermind. But the mastermind isn't of the person who's messaging me, it's someone else. It's weird. And apparently, as I went down that rabbit hole, this is a thing. You can buy fake profiles and basically send them out on your behalf to DM and message people. And I'm like, people pay for that. People pay
Mm.
to do that. And I don't know, there's something I think marketing, like the way you do it, is so much more people oriented, right? It's about your work helping someone make more sales is really about the person that you're working with.
Yep, absolutely. The other day, like 2 days back, I got the same thing from the someone on the Facebook, okay, and this lady have like reached out to me asking me that, hey, my one of my mentor is doing this XYZ stuff, okay, and he's going to teach you like that, how you can revenue up your business, okay. Would you be interested for this, okay? And the surprisingly, at the time, okay, after she sent me the same message, okay, I did not respond it. Okay, after 1 hour, I got another message from the someone, okay, who just sent me the friend request, okay, and that guy who was actually like doing all this stuff, he also sent me the message, okay. So like within the 2 hours of period, okay, I got the same message, okay, the same, okay, from the three different people, okay, and which make me realize that when you are going to do and operate your business this way, do you think that it is gonna be easier for you to build that trust? Because the trust nowadays on the Facebook, it does not matter that which social media platform you use, okay? Because if you really want to do something better, if you are no matter like in which field you are, like coaching, consulting, or freelancing, whatever it is, okay, the trust is the big factor which really matters, that if the person is going to really work with you or not, okay. And when you are doing this way, okay, do you really think that people are going to really trust you that way? I don't think so. Because people are saying that there is just so much saturation in the market, like everybody is doing the same thing. But I always say that if you are going to do this way, the manipulation way, okay, then of course there will be always going to be like so much crowd, the saturation. But when you are going to lead with authenticity, something which can people are really craving, then of course, okay, you are going to build that trust with that people, okay, and you are can easily stand out, okay. I can easily say that there is still demand in the market, that you can easily stand out by just being you, okay. You don't have to be try to someone else, okay, trying to use this such a like salesy tactics to make things work out.
Yeah, agreed. And I think the human, in this I love AI. I love automations, and I love when things happen in the background of my business that I don't have to do any longer. And I love that. But when it comes down to the actual meeting people, speaking to people, engaging with my audience, whether it's, doing these conversations live or other trainings I do, or simply any of the events I host, there's something when the world is going automated and hands off and cold, and you double down on relationships, warmth, and what you said about trust. Really, really key, because I don't think you can trust someone completely who you've never spoken to. I wouldn't send you money unless you and I had had a conversation.
That's the most important part of the like my entire business, the conversations. And I really agree with your one of your point that the AI is also coming up, okay, like we have been using. And I'm also really big fan of the AI, and I see your content like every other day on the Facebook and LinkedIn. You are really big fan of the AI, okay, and I really love like kind of the prompt that we are putting out, okay. And I'm also leveraging the AI somehow in my business, like my writing and some improving the stuff. But when it comes to actually having the connection, okay, when it comes to talking with the people, okay, I don't use any sort of AI, but rather than I just talk the way that I talk with the people. Because when you are having the conversation, okay, it does not matter like which industry you are in, okay. If you are really want to build the trust with the people, okay, the conversations are one of the best way to do that, okay. And no matter of like tools or AI or any other way, like hiring the satyrs or hiring the all these sort of people will not gonna work. Because when you are going to talk with the people, okay, people can easily identify who is the person on the other side. Okay, because if the other person can easily see that you are using the AI, or you are hired someone to talk on behalf of you, okay, that person will going to stop responding to you. And I got this sort of like a response from the people. Okay, I mean, even the recently I was like talking with one of my client, okay, and she's really amazing, like she's a transformation coach. And she told me that, Moin, I hired someone from the Philippines to talk behalf of me, because I really don't have some time to talk with the people in the DMs. Okay. And when I asked her that, okay, what's the results? Okay, like after hiring her, what's the results? And she said that, I mean, previously when I was actually talking with the people, I used it to get the response. I used it to book the appointments. I used it to actually get some sales. But since hiring, okay, she is starting the conversations more. But I feel like that after the first message, people are stopped responding to me. And when I look at the examples she sent me, I easily identified that, I mean, the way that you was talking and the way that you hired that someone is completely different. Okay, because every person have their own tone. Okay, every person have their own way of style, and some of the people that you are talking with, they can easily identify it's not you. Okay, and that's why, okay, it can't work. Okay, it can't work. That, I mean, if you are going to hire someone, okay, that's why it's important that, when you are actually want to sell any sort of a product or any sort of service, okay, make sure that you are talking with the right people. Okay, make sure that you are talking in the way that you are talking in the real life. That's how the people are going to really trust you. That's how you are going to build a relationship with the people. Because if people don't have the trust or the relationship with you, okay, then no amount, or even you can't even sell the $10 product, I believe so.
I totally agree. And I also I think the people on the receiving end of messages are more cautious now than, let's say, 10 years ago. I was a health coach. I had a very successful group on Facebook where all of my clients came from that. And then Facebook groups changed and that stopped working. And now the messaging has to be different. Typically, uh, I don't message anyone first. I I have somebody message me first, and there's a whole strategy behind that. But what's important is when I do reach out to people, even if it's a family member or a close acquaintance, and I send a Facebook message, 9 times out of 10, even if I just say, "Hey, thinking about you, how have you been?" They think it's a marketing message.
Ah, yes.
And I'm shocked by that. I'm like, "It's coming from me." Like, uh, I I was actually thinking about you, and I thought, "Hey, how are you? It's been a while. What's new?" They think I'm marketing to them, which that just shows that the marketplace is saturated with people doing that cold DM, fake, get to know you. "Oh, I care about your business. Let me message you." No, you don't. No, you don't. And I think again, goes back to that original message of, you know, if you actually care about people and serving them and putting out quality content, showing up on social media, people will message you for what you have.
Absolutely. I agree with this. I mean, one of the big factor really matters is that, I mean, the way that you are showing up. Okay, I mean, in within your conversation, in within your content, specifically content, because content really matters. Okay, if you are don't really want to chase people, if you don't want to try to spam them, okay, the one of the best way I've found is the content. Okay, the content is something which can actually can generate the leads. Okay, but when I say the leads, okay, I get mostly the pre-sold leads as well, which means that after reading my content, okay, some of the people don't even have some sort of question to work with me, because they might have seen all the stuff. Okay, and one of the best thing that I have been doing specifically over the last 2 years is that I don't hide anything. Okay, I don't hide anything within my content. I share it. Okay, it doesn't matter if it is get the leads. if it does not get likes, comments or not. Okay, but I post it because I find it that if I'm going to try to share every single thing that people have the question in my mind, okay, when they are going to read it, okay, of course they are going to feel that my energy, because I don't hide it. Okay, I share every single small thing. Even if I get any wins, I share it. If I fail something, okay, if I make any mistake, okay, if I find any lose or something like that, okay, I share it. Okay, so that when people are actually read it, they can see that I'm not trying to kind of just showing the some highlights, but I'm also showing my lows as well. Because it's so much easier these days to just showing your like high stuff. Okay, you are making money, you are living this highest amount of like lifestyle, you are doing extra of stuff, but nobody is actually sharing that to get there. Okay, you had mistake, you had make some mistakes. Okay, you had learn it. Okay, you have some being hard on yourself. Okay, you had on the phase where you do not hard make any sort of money. Okay, so you have to also share that, so that people can easily see that you are not just trying to just sharing the only highlight, but you are also sharing something which also other people can also resonate. Because whatever the thing that you are trying to make in the market, okay, some of the other people are also really want to become like you. And when you are sharing the both sides, like the highlights and also the low side, okay, people can see that yeah, this is normal. Okay, I'm also facing it as well, which Moin is also faced it. Okay, so maybe I can follow him in the journey. That's what I'm getting. Okay, I mean, sometimes I get a message from the people saying that hey, I have been following you for a while now, and one of the thing that I really like about yourself is that you are not just only sharing that, I mean, all the like highlight stuff, but you are also sharing some of the things that many people are actually afraid to say. And that's what I'm saying, that this is what really makes me different. Okay, that's what make me and can you to stand out in the market, because not everybody had that guts to sharing their lows as well.
Yeah, I agree, and now, Moin, I'm curious, what's the balance there between, sharing value, sharing how to, knowledge, instructions, what to do, how to do it. You do all that. But what balance should our listeners be looking for, to put out there in the world of, putting content out there about what they do, then the sales content, and then the value content, and then the behind the scenes, the lifestyle. What's the balance there, do you think?
Okay, so I mean, I have the really unique like content creation framework that I have refined it over the last 2 3 years. Okay, and finally, like 3 months back, okay, I given it the name, which is the deep desire effect, which means that whenever someone is going to read your content, okay, they will have a deep desire to actually see you as an authority, seeing you as a someone who can actually they can follow you. Okay, and this content had these three like pillars, what I call the pillars, and these are the three pillars that I do it every single day on the Facebook, on LinkedIn, and even in my email list. Okay, and they're the three part of it. The one is actually where I'm sharing about myself, about my personality. Okay, where I share about my own lifestyle, where I share my stories, my philosophies. Okay, the like the way that I'm thinking about this stuff. Like for example, if I'm right now into the business coaching. Okay, I help people to getting clients and sales, etc. Okay, so I share my philosophy about this stuff. Okay, because many people don't share it. Okay, the philosophy, lifestyle, behind the scenes. Okay, so this is the first thing that I share within my content. The second one is what I call the expertise based content. Okay, and this is where I share the content that shift the beliefs of my audience. This is one of my favorite tab, which is the belief shifting content. And if I can say over the last 3 years, okay, the content type which get me the most lead, inbound lead and client is the belief shifting content. Okay, I'm really kind of even like if you're right now watching this like podcast or like this live or like reply, I mean, it does not matter like what sort of expertise that you have. Okay, even if you just create only one type of this content, which I call the belief shifting content. Okay, it will going to build the trust within your audience. It will going to generate the inbound lead as well. Okay, and it's really simple. Okay, I mean, everybody. Okay, now within your audience, they somehow having some sort of limiting belief. Okay, somehow they want to do something, but something is holding them back. And as an expert, you might really know that what are those things which are really holding them back. For example, okay, I'm into the business coaching, okay, and I help coaches, creators, and service provider to sign more clients, okay. And while doing so, many people really get stuck into the niche, they get stuck into the like offer part, okay. They have the limiting belief that they have to actually do the outreaching, they have to do these call DMs, they have to post like a whole lot of content to actually get more clients. But I have the different philosophy, okay. Rather than doing that, okay, what you really don't need, I mean, what you really need is that if you can just write the content just around why your audience is not getting where they really want to be, and if you can show them a really better way, a much more efficient way, then they are going to see you as an authority, and you are going to be kind of making sense to them that somehow you can actually help them. So that's the second type of content that I do, which is I call the belief shifting content. This sort of content actually build the audience and nurture my audience. And the last type of content that I do is what I call the invitation content. Okay, so whatever the offer that I'm promoting, I, without hiding anything, I share it. Okay, every single small detail of my offer, I share it publicly, including the investment. Why I'm doing it? Because I mean, we used to learn in the marketing classes and courses or webinars that we need to like just keep our offer for the sales calls or sales conversations. But I don't do this. Okay, I share every single small detail about my offer publicly within my content, so that people when read it, okay, when they reach it out to me, they already know that what is the investment, how they can work with me. So these are the like three pillars of my content. And the way that I balance is that every week I post like 30% of content which are about my personality, like my stories, my beliefs, my values, etc. Almost 40% of the content I do is about the belief shifting, about or demonstrating my authority, demonstrating about the trust. And the 20% of the content that I do is about the invitation. Okay, so it had the like the balance. Okay, I mean, it's not that I just only do the philosophy and personality post, but other than make the balance in a way that it will going to actually build the trust, it will going to nurture my audience, and at the same time it will going to convert them into the paying client.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how I actually manage the balance between the content that I've been doing.
I love it. And I hope all of the listeners of this podcast wrote down those three different types of posts and the balance involved. And what I think is genius about it is by having a mix of that content every week, you're hitting every stage of the buyer journey. You're hitting people who don't know who you are. Uh, you're making them aware of you. And then the people who know who you are and don't know exactly what you do, you're shifting their beliefs and making them realize that, hey, I might need what he's selling here. And then the sales posts, obviously, your sales posts are so well done. And I love the fact that you always give the entire offer in the post, well written in the post. And you also typically disclose the price, which I like that. Personally, I like that because I'm not going to get on a sales call with someone and not know the investment because I don't want to waste their time. So I remember years ago getting on a sales call and I didn't know how much the offer was. I knew it was going to be a significant investment. It was a group coaching program. I had no idea that it was going to be more than $20,000. And I went through the application, the call with the salesperson, and when they got to the price, I was like, "Oh, no, I'll just buy the book and do what it says." And he said, "Well, yeah, the whole program is in the book." And I said, "I never would have gotten on this call if I knew the offer was $25,000 and the whole program is in a book that's $14. I wouldn't have done it, right? Like, I wouldn't that's not a smart business decision for me. So I think the disclosure of, how much something is, it will cut down your amount of leads. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. The one of the big factor. One of the big factor within the content or even the like sales process is you might also know about is the term which is the pre-selling. Okay, the pre-selling. If you can do the really good work with the pre-selling. Okay, what is means the pre-selling is that before you even try to pitch someone or get into the sales conversations. Okay, if you can let them know about the problem that you can solve, who you are as a person, and what your offer is about, including how it works and investment, etc. Then when you get on the sales conversation with someone, okay, they will be almost pre-sold. Why? Because your content, your all the other stuff have already done the work to make them believe that you can actually help them. The sales conversation will be just about the confirmation. Are you in or not? Okay, there is nothing you have to try to hard sell, nothing you have to let them convince that you have this like high level program or something like that because they already know it. That's how the powerful it is. Okay, when you do the pre-selling this way, and that's why this like the three model content model that I've created, it just basically focus on the pre-selling. Okay, pre-sell on me as a person, it pre-sell people on my expertise, and then it pre-sell people on my offer. So when I am going to have the sales conversation with someone, they already know these three things: who am I, what I do, and how I can really help them.
Yes. Beautiful. Perfect place to wrap up. I Amazing value that you've dropped today, Moin. I appreciate you. I appreciate our connection. I appreciate learning from you. Always more wisdom in your content. And I will make sure to drop your LinkedIn profile in the comments and you just keep doing what you're doing and really excited to see what's next for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I always love to provide the value. And I was really excited to get on this podcast with you. The sitting with you on the other side of the corner and just having this conversation like this. I've never done this something like this, but I not feel like that, I must have done this before. Okay, I should have done this before. But yeah, finally, I'm really happy that I'm just getting rid of my some like fear that I was having because I had the fear of getting in front of the camera. To be honestly, before this call.
Well, I have more podcasts for you to be on if you're up for that because you show up powerfully, you drop value, and I have many people who would be interested in that values, and I'm happy to connect you. Honored to call you a connection of mine. So thank you for joining me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for taking the time to giving me the opportunity to talk with you on this call. I'm really kind of your big fan as well because since I have been following you for the last 5 years. Okay, you are one of those just few people I have been following since the like day one kind of thing, like since the beginning of my journey.
Wow. Well, you can just consider me, a second mom in the online.
Oh my god.
Was you're such a baby, and I appreciate the follow so much, and yeah, thanks again for joining today. Alright, thanks everyone. Have a great day. Thank you for tuning in to another empowering episode of Unlock Your Way. I hope you found today's discussion inspiring, and you're ready to take your business and personal growth to that next level. If you're feeling as fired up as I am and eager to unlock that full potential, I'm here to help you on your journey and provide that personalized guidance tailored to your unique goals and challenges. Simply book a one-on-one coaching call with me and we'll dive deep into your business aspirations and see how we could co-create a roadmap for your success. And whether you're striving to scale an enterprise or just getting started, I'm here to support you every step of the way. To schedule your coaching call, simply visit the website at unlockyourwaywithstk.com, click on the Book a Call button, and we'll turn your dreams into that reality. Subscribe and review on your favorite podcast platform and on YouTube. Plus, you can join over 800 entrepreneurs in the Idea Lab Facebook group. Let's make success as an entrepreneur happen together. Until next time, I'm STK. Keep dreaming big, stay focused, and most of all, have fun while you're doing it.
This show is powered by Media Leads. To get your next great podcast produced, go to MediaLeadsCo.com.